4, 2, yes, oh. What?
How dare you?
Go ahead. What's up, guys? Joseph Xplosive here.
Gold.
Here with Joshua Xplosive, and he's reaching in his pocket, so you already know he done found some damn snack somewhere. Never fails, kid.
Hi.
So anyways, back to my question. I was just setting up, and Joshua was talking. I'm like, be quiet, and then I clapped really loud in front of the microphone and the camera that we're using. I asked him, do you know why?
Because the audio thingy.
I don't quite understand because that audio thingy, what that means.
Because to see if the audio thingy makes a little bar thingy.
Well, we did a mic check before for that, but the real reason is when I'm editing, since I'm using a separate device from the camera, when I line up the audio, it makes it easier because all you got to do is look for the spike in the waveform, the audio line. Oh, okay. All in here. Anyways, what's up, everybody? We are back in what we are calling our second podcast, even though it's been a long time since we've done the first one.
Is this like number 4?
No, this is number 2. You flaked on me like the last 2 times and put the mic to your mouth. We're going through this again.
It's been up to my mouth the whole time. Look at the devices even on.
Something like that. But anyways, yeah, Jester's been flaking on me for podcasts. As you guys know, I have him half of the week, and the days he's been with me, he's been deciding he wants to sleep till like 1 or 2 o'clock.
Actually, 11. It's been 11 every time.
No, yesterday you slept till like 1 o'clock.
It was 11.
Bro, it was like 1 o'clock.
Because I got ready
sweaty.
at 1 o'clock. I got ready at 1 o'clock.
You got ready for what at 1 o'clock?
The 4th of July.
You a damn lie. What time did I drop you off to your mom?
6.
5 o'clock. 5:30. So how did you get ready at 1?
Because
bro, you were just rolling out of bed at 1 o'clock.
It was 11.
Okay. In his mind, it was 11. So we're just going to pretend he was, dang, I can't even say East Coast because they're 3 hours ahead of us or 2 hours ahead of us, whatever. But anyways, man, yesterday was 4th of July. You spent it with your mother, even though it was evening. And I had you most of the day, even though you slept. Well, the bed had you most of the day yesterday. How was your 4th of July?
Good. I went swimming.
Don't hold it by the... Oh, my gosh. Is there anything you know how to do right on this podcast?
Eat chocolate.
Is there anything you know, like... And I say that, you guys probably like, damn, that's hella mean. But
yes,
he acts like he hasn't been around this his whole life. Like, we got into this before. Can you actually slide over that way some? Remember,
racist.
Border, Mexico, America. You're getting kind of close to the line. Now you see why Trump wants to build a wall. No, but you guys are probably like, damn, you hella mean to your son. But I'm not hella mean. It's just one of those things. It's like, had I never had a YouTube channel, had I never been channel, and had I never done videos for the last 17 years of my life, with him being part of the majority of it, I'd get it. Like, okay, yeah, I need to teach him, keep the mic a certain distance from your mouth. Don't wiggle the cord and sit there and play with it. Don't have the microphone here when we try to talk. Like, I mean, because you're not born with that kind of stuff. But he's familiar with it. He knows this stuff, and he just still chooses to. Is this right, Dad? Look at me. Look what I can do. But anyways, so yeah, you were telling me about your swimming on the 4th of July.
Mm.
How'd you like the fireworks?
I got burned. I stepped on one.
Wow. Not surprised.
I was barefoot.
Not surprised.
Racist.
This kid does not like, he knows the right things to do, but he always does the wrong things. Like frying chicken.
I'm a rebel.
Like, yeah, rebel gonna get that. Dang, I didn't have nothing slick to say. But anyways, like, he fries chicken with no shirt on. He cooks with no shirt on. And I'm like, you gonna learn today. But it hasn't quite been.
Have I learned?
No, but you is though. One of these days you gonna have a big old burn mark on you. You gonna be like, I'm gonna go to the beach and take my shirt off, but I got that burn from when I was 12 and didn't like to listen. I'm like, told you so. Yes. What is it that you do?
Who's that?
Yes. If you guys don't know what that is Tyler the Creator, Igor. Hey, bro, you plan on engaging in this podcast?
I have 3 brain cells.
You were born with 3 though. You only had 3 brain cells. Not like it's something new, bro.
In case you guys don't know, I slept.
And there you go. I just told you, don't hold it from the freaking cord. And here he is. That's what I'm telling you guys. That's why I be on him. That's why I talk to him the way I talk to him.
I slept 2 hours.
Why are you holding it like it's a snow cone? Or an ice cream cone? He slept 2 hours. That's what you get. Staying up all day and night.
Day and night.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so he's been up these last few nights because he's been wanting to watch season 3 of.
Don't even try to blame it on that.
I almost said Breaking Bad.
I couldn't watch it last night because
My God, is there anything? Can you learn one thing, please? One thing properly, please.
Eat chocolate.
That you don't learn that. All right, get back to your story and hold the mic right. Dang, simple stuff.
False, because yesterday I didn't have Netflix.
I like how you went back. I was like, false. What? Oh, he's talking about
because I didn't have Netflix at my mom's house, so you can't blame it on that.
So what was it
actually because I don't know how to go to sleep.
It's pretty easy. You get tired. Stop, man. You damn kick. How do you kick? Sit your goddamn ass up, man. Sit back and put your leg. How do you? I'm taller. How do you kick the freaking tripod? What am I going to do with this kid?
Dispose.
I'm gonna throw this one away. Can I get another one? Like for real, like bro. This is, you know, it's funny because like I'm aware of it right now because I know that there's viewers, but this is literally our whole day. Joshua, stop doing. Joshua, why you just get the goddamn bucket out the garbage disposal? I was like, you can't put a bucket in garbage, but like that's my whole day with this kid, and half the shit's funny too. Like yesterday, look, let me tell you what happened yesterday. I was laying down trying to take a nap, and I happened to look up. This Negro's got a small styrofoam cup and a napkin, but he's butt naked. And I'm like, son, what are you doing? He was trying to catch a fly, but I get the napkin, I get the cup. He was gonna cover the cup with the napkin, but what was the whole part of getting butt naked for that?
I had to get in my primal instincts, tap into my ancestry.
Oh, so was your primal instinct? So by you get naked, you just gonna naturally develop that skill to catch the fly. How'd that work out?
No.
Didn't work out. Yeah. And then the day before that, so the reason he's trying to catch flies is he's putting them in the freezer and tying a string around them so that when he brings them out, I don't know if you guys know this, you can actually freeze flies and then they'll thaw out. It only takes a few seconds, like if you hold them in your hand, and they're alive. They'll fly just like nothing ever happened, which is pretty amazing. So anyways, he's been trying to tie a string around a fly and revive it so he can have a pet fly flying around. So what happened the first day that we tried it?
He died.
Care to talk a little bit more further on how he died?
So everything was going good. It was just about him reviving, but the thing was around his neck. So when I was like that, and I was like that with the string, and him on it, his head fell off.
So can you please explain why you went like? So mind you, all right. He's roped me into this, right? Because I'm a supportive father. So I like, son, that's stupid, but I'll do it with you. So we're sitting there.
You're like, that's cool. I want to try it too. And then we're like, well, help me.
Well, I mean, like okay. People say stuff like. We saw it on a video, and I was like, oh, that's funny. That's cool. I'll try that. Later that day, I didn't realize we were actually going to try it. So anyways. Hold it by your freaking.
I wasn't talking, though, so I'm good. I'm eating chocolate.
So you were talking to the chocolate saying, I would do that.
I would do that.
Well, you're so annoying, Joshua. I swear. You seriously are annoying. I think I'm going to start doing podcasts on my own. Because, like, this, like, I hate this. I really do. Like, I really want to have a conversation with you and talk to you, but you just act stupid when the camera comes on. Like, for real. Like, it's annoying. But anyways.
We have that heart-to-heart conversation.
Well, I'm like, and you think it's funny, like, every time I correct you on something, or every time I talk about something, like, you just sit here like it's, that's funny. That's what we wanted. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to sit here and talk. Like, you and I, like, we have conversations and we chill all the time. And we have a great relationship. But like I said, when the camera comes, you just get stupid. Like, stop doing that, man. Just chill and talk to me. Come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. I really want to know you. Okay, we're not going to go there. But anyway, so can you explain to the people why you tied a freaking string around them, which was part of the plan, and then you decide to go and hit him on a box? Like, in what universe was that going to work out any other way than it did?
I don't know. Primal instincts.
Primal instincts. Yeah, well, I guess so. I guess, like, the primal instinct is to kill the animal and then you can eat it. But yeah, so he decapitated the fly. It was at that moment I walked away. Like, seriously, like, my frustration that I have at this podcast, I was like, that was stupid. I was like, why would you do that? Like, we literally spent like 20 minutes trying to freeze the fly over and over. Me holding them with tweezers. Joshua finally gets the string on, like, after 20 minutes. Then he goes, yeet, decapitate. I was seriously like, I wasted some of my time in my life, which could be very short, and wasted it watching him decapitate a fly. And part of me was like, I feel
good. It's supposed to go that way.
At first, I was like, I feel bad for the fly.
Me too.
But then I was like, who feels bad for flies dying? We swing at him and kill him all the time. But maybe it's just the manner that he did. Like, I knew, like, he died at our hands. Well, your hands. I wanted him to revive and live a healthy 3 days of the rest of his life. But fortunately, he decided to cut that short.
I didn't do that.
Sometimes you just make me shake my head like, boy.
I don't know. I was just like, it was like, swing it. And then he's like,
you know, in cartoons and stuff, into the kids shows, how they have like a good angel, and then they have a little demon. Just surely has a demon on his shoulder. The angel don't never show up. He's just like, swing it. Swing the fly.
I was like, I'll wait for it to thaw out, and then it was like, swing it.
Poor fly. But at least he had a peaceful death. It was kind of like dying in your sleep, I guess.
That is not peaceful. You don't know if you're dead or not.
Well, it was kind of like he was sleeping, so peaceful enough. So anyways, yeah, so your 4th of July was pretty cool. You got some blisters on your feet, stepped on, and talk about how you stepped on a sparkler barefoot.
So there was poppers, and I was popping them, and then you know the ones that throw in a spin, and then they change colors?
Mm-hmm.
So they threw one of those,
you put
but
the
it
mic
was
to
kind of close to me, so I walked away from it. But I was kind of like hopping, and then I went, boom, stepped on one and it fell. But it was one of those. You know those
Let's pretend something real quick. Maybe this will help put it better in your brain. Pretend the only way people can hear you talk is by having this device right here to your mouth. There's no other way. Other than that, it's just like, and nobody can hear you talk. Can you, like, I think, like, I used to work in the behavioral health field, and in dealing with people that had issues, you usually had to just present them in a different form or a different manner than you normally would normal people. So, my unnormal son, let's pretend we're in a world like, you know, those people that smoke and that, my name's Leroy. Let's pretend the only way you could possibly speak, at least during the time that this podcast is going, is by a microphone, or no. A speaking device is in front of your mouth. Otherwise, nobody will ever hear you. Let's play a game.
I want to die.
Leave it to him, and that would be the way that he holds his microphone. So anyways,
But they won't hear me.
Back to your story. And stop doing that. Remember the... Lord help me.
It's hot in here.
It ain't that. I bet you making my blood pressure go up. Anyways, okay, so you decided it was a great idea on the 4th of July to play with fireworks barefoot.
Yes.
Carry on.
So they threw the thing, and it was kind of close to me, and it was like. So I was like, "Oh no!" And then this is a little sparkler, but it was fresh out, and it was hot and metal. So I was like, "Doo doo doo doo."
What'd your mom say?
I told you. Take my sandals.
She said it like that. I told you. Take my sandals. Mm. Hey, rapper in the microphone.
My name is Jeffrey, and I smoked for 38 years, and I got chlamydia.
Just kidding. That's cool. I chilled yesterday after I dropped you off. Actually, I went to meet up with We Came In Last. They're a local rock group. Actually, it's like an alternative rock type group, but they're in their own lane, man. They're different, but that's the only way that I could kind of categorize them. So I met them up at this cool shop called Snood City Neon. And what are you doing? Your streets?
Mm-mm.
And they were gracious enough to open up their shop on the 4th of July for us to do an interview. And We Came In Last with Patrick and Ben. They set up and we had a little jam session. Well, they had a jam session while I recorded and stuff. Then I got my interview. Then after that, pretty much came home, sipping on some drink, toking on some dank, soaking on some dank. You did what?
I sipped on Capri Suns all night.
Yeah, and your mama told me you had diarrhea since Easter's. I pick him up. I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, he's got diarrhea. Like, thank you. So yeah, stay hydrated, my friend. What are you doing?
Nothing.
See, I'm looking at my phone because I actually have some stuff on here that I wanted to. Oh yeah, let me.
I have some stuff on here I wanted to do.
Yeah, play some freaking games. So, how you like my dope shirt? I'm talking to you.
Oh, I like it. It's a Venom with the feathers and a tomahawk.
Yep. And it's not one of my designs. This is actually by what'd that say? Furious Art. It's actually a dude that I met, and we kind of traded shirts and stuff because he freehands, he draws stuff, and he's got some T-shirts made that he sells out on the res. So if you can't tell what it is, it's actually Venom from Spider-Man, and this symbol here, it's a native symbol, and it's called. Forgive me if I get it wrong. I think it's called Man in a Maze. The Man in the Maze, or Man in, yeah, it's something dealing with man and maze. I don't even know the story behind it, but I think it's cool that that he was able to blend that, because I mean everybody likes Marvel characters and stuff, and then to actually throw your culture into it too.
Weirdos that like DC.
Well, I mean,
I like DC, but
I mean, pretty much everybody likes superheroes and stuff, and
oh yeah, I forgot.
And stuff like that.
Spanish mode off, English mode on.
Nah, you can leave it out there too. A lot of people that watch our stuff are Hispanic. But anyways, yeah. So he was explaining how it's got the 7 feathers, which are like the 7 nations, out on the res, and sure there's some other stuff in here, but I just thought it was dope. I like the little accent with the pink, and everything else is white. And I know, for the sake of screen printing, that saves money when you got 2 colors, because had this been a multicolored design, it'd been a lot of money for the shirts. But I'm gonna just go ahead and throw that out there. But anyways, while I'm talking about shirts, let's talk about let's show some merch. Just while I put my mic down and show the shirt, talk about the shirt a little bit.
Don't buy it. It's a scam.
Just when you think he's gonna help me out, don't buy it. It's a scam. Anyways, that's my Dope Vibes shirt. You can find it at www.burningbuddhaclothing.kizom. That's my company. Check it out.
Nah, Sherlock.
Well, not everybody knows that.
Jesus is.
And there might be some people that are just tuning in for the first time, and they're probably like, this podcast freaking sucks, because that little light-skinned kid is annoying.
I'm not annoying.
You're sitting here playing a freaking game, bruh.
I'm special, but I'm talking. I'm doing my job while doing my job.
See, and what this kid doesn't understand is, ever since he was born, I've strategically implanted things into his life. Things that would help him out with life. Like, as soon as he was able to crawl and like understand pain and shit, we would fight. We would play fight. And like UFC used to be like his favorite thing. we'd sit there and watch UFC together and stuff like that, and then he'll catch you without you looking. And one time, my brother Brandon, this is one of the rare times we ever left him with anybody, because like me and his mom were super protective over him. But we want to have a little date night and stuff like that. So I think we went to where did we go? What's the game? Dave and Buster's. We went out to Dave and Buster's because we are Christian folk, and there's no other stuff for Christian folks to do other than go to a game place, So, yeah, so we went there and we ate and stuff, and we came back, and my brother had a busted lip. And I was like, "Dang, what happened?" He was like, "Oh man, I was sitting there watching TV, and Jester just ran up and just from the side, got him from the side and busted his lip." And I was like, "Oh, I kind of forgot to tell you about that." Not that I was teaching him to just run up and hit people, but as a 2-year-old, or actually, yeah, you were 2 at the time. They don't know. They just like, it's playtime. Let's play. Boom. Like, so that's one thing I really had to teach. That took a while to teach, to get that out of you, because he would just run up. So what I started doing, I figured it out, because talking didn't help. He run up and hit me. I hit him back, and he'd be like, "Ah!" And I'd be like, "Are we playing?" And he'd be like, "So why'd you run up and hit me?" I'd be like, "Hey, if you're gonna play fight with somebody, it has to be a mutual thing. You don't just run up and hit somebody or choke somebody out." So, it took some time. A couple lumps upside his head. I was kidding. Do you even remember that?
No, because you beat it out of me.
Nah, because like, man, it would be the most random times too. We at church, passing the collection plate. I get a punch across my face. No, I was just kidding. I made that story, but like, it would be random times. I'm just laying there. He come up and put me in a chokehold, and I'm just like, ugh. And then he's like, he would be a horrible mixed martial artist, because there's a certain code, When somebody taps, you let go. This nigga thinks that when you tap, he's like, in his head, like, "Yeah, I got him, squeeze tighter." Like, no, I submit. That's what a whole tapping means. You submit, and this kid just sits there and squeezes tighter. So it's been a few.
I want you to know that I'm better than you.
You're not better than me. Not in fighting, bro. I'll slide a little kid. Don't think I won't. Like there's certain what do they call, like, understandings that people have. That none of those are mine. I would hit a midget. I would fight a kid. I will punch a dude with glasses.
Baby, look at me, wrong.
Right?
We fight.
Hey, bet. I be at the store, like, usually babies love me. Like 9 out of 10 babies, when they see it, they just love me. They're always gazing at me and smiling and doing all kinds of stuff. Whatever. But every now and then I come across that one baby that just want to sit there like. So I'd be like, "Bet, let your parents turn their back." And I'd be like, there was one time I made this kid cry in the store, and I was laughing. I was like, "You get a little bitch." But yeah, they know what they doing.
I made him cry on Father's Day.
How?
I punched you in your shoulder.
Oh yeah, but hold on, like, it was. I'm trying to come up with a lie. I wasn't like, "Oh, pain," but it was like he hit me so hard that I was it hurt, but I was laughing and tears ran down my face. You made water come out of my face.
He was crying. He was like, "Ah," like rolling, like, "Ah."
But you gotta understand, like, let me see your fist. Like, this might not be intimidating, but there's something. It's like venom. Like, he'll punch you, and you'll be like, "Bet." Then it just starts to throb. And then it's like a sharp pain. And then it just gets worse and worse. And I'm like, ow. But he hit me in my hurt shoulder too.
I hit him like as hard as I could. Just boom, like right.
And it was in my hurt shoulder. And I was like, it sounded like I was crying, but I wasn't crying. I was like,
no, you was crying. You was like, ah.
But I was laughing though. I was laughing, and a tear kind of just came out of my eye. But sometimes too, when you lay down a certain way,
yeah, you was crying,
and the wind was blowing, and the speck of freaking dust fell off the fan
inside.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, you was crying.
It wasn't like crying, but like,
yeah, it was crying,
I admit a tear came out of my eye, and it hurt very bad. It was just one big tear. It was one big wet tear. Let me go ahead and check this right quick. Entertain us with something. As I expected.
Moscow.
So Jester's been obsessed with this Russian song.
I'm not upset.
Obsessed? You are obsessed with it.
I'm not upset.
Obsessed. Bro. So, I have some questions. Excuse me, sorry. For all you guys that heard that. My mouth fart. What the hell? I opened my to-do list. That's not wrong one. I created a little list for the podcast, and I've done pretty much most of those already. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get into some questions, but these questions are a little bit different. These are 365 thought-provoking questions.
What's that?
Questions that require you to use your brain. I mean, simply put. So I was looking through a couple of these and I was like, dang, these are really some thought-provoking questions. Okay, like, get yourself together, man. I have zero patience this podcast, but you got to understand, I've tried to shoot a podcast twice. He's come here, left without shooting a podcast, came again, left without shooting a podcast. So this is the third time that he's back with me. And we're barely shooting our second podcast. So, like, I'm a little on edge right now. Like, I'm annoyed that, first off, he's not shooting podcasts with me. And then second off, that we shoot a podcast and he's acting brand new. So, I'm sorry for a little on edge, a little tense. Oh, but anyways, like, way before all this other stuff came up, what I was trying to say is, I have done things throughout your life to try to help you out. Maybe not immediately.
Still this?
Yeah, I just realized.
Conversation.
I just realized the point that I was getting at with all that, and I'll try to keep it short. But to try to help prepare you at life at certain avenues, in certain areas in your life. So the whole thing with the play fight, or watching UFC and the play fight and stuff like that, I wanted you to learn how to throw punches. I wanted you to learn. That's just something that I wanted you to do, because I see grown men sometimes. They're like, man, I'll bust you up. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Have you ever thrown a punch in your life? Have you ever been in a fight? And I just don't want that for you, because you got a pretty face, you short, so that's automatically grounds for somebody picking on
R&R.
you. Right? Yeah, they be double punching, and it's R&R. It's I forget, but it's a fighting thing on YouTube. And yeah, some of the people in there are pathetic because they're like amateurs, not pro, and they look pretty pathetic, like they never fought before.
They be punching like this, like.
So, anyways, yeah, I wanted to prepare you for a lot of things that will come up in life. Much like with your mom when we were married, like for the majority of our marriage, like literally 11 years of our marriage, she didn't work, which was totally fine because that's what we agreed upon. But I told her during the process, like, if I die, if we divorce or something, I want you to have a skill. Go to school, learn something. There was a time that she got into cakes, and I did everything I could. I'm like, let's make videos. Let's teach people how to make cakes. Let's get business. And every time somebody asked for a cake, I'm like, she can do it. But then she could do it like this, though. Like, I make it like 10 times bigger than what they wanted it. But it was all about challenging. Like, I believe life is about challenges. And if life doesn't throw you enough challenges, you can challenge yourself. Which life does throw you enough challenges. But anyways, I'm just all about challenging and growing and stuff like that. So
we get it. You're special.
I'm not special. I'm just like, damn, like, what's the point? Like, mediocrity.
We get it.
Mediocrity is pretty lame. So this whole podcast thing is like, first off, I wanted people to kind of see our everyday, how we are, how we communicate with each other, how we are with each other. But for some reason, you want to act different when the camera comes on.
You act different.
But two, I also this is a source of income, and this is something like you can continue it. Like, my biggest fear for you is to grow up like most adults, be like most adults. Most adults go through school, they do everything that they think they're supposed to do because that's all that we're taught, especially in our Western culture. Go to 12 years of school, go to college or military. Get loans either for school or for house, and suck and hate life the rest of your life until you die. Look forward. You spend 25 years working at a place that you don't like, but it gets the job done. It feeds the kids and pays the mortgage. So I'll suffer so that 25 years later I can retire. And we've seen many, many horror stories with that. And you know, like, and that's not the case. There's a lot of people that's totally fine. They go to school, they rack up debt, or some people don't rack up debt, and they live good lives or lives that they're okay with. But the average person, honestly, they're working to survive. And most of the times it's a job that they don't like, and they're in situations or positions that they feel like they have to be in order to survive and for their family to survive. So I keep trying to, like, your whole life, I try to ingrain nuggets. Like, I'm like, oh, learn Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, which he learned Illustrator, does nothing with it. Wanted to teach him Photoshop, wanted to teach him video editing. YouTube, that was like, oh my goodness. I like from age 2, that would be 10 years. Like, I can't fault you from being 2 years old, but let's say we take the last 8 years when you started your YouTube channel. 8 years of putting out videos, bro, you seriously can be like any of those other YouTubers that are out there. Smosh, freaking the Swedish dude that you like so much. I always forget his name. But you could have easily, like, 8 years of, like, as a kid, what do you have? The only responsibility you have really is going to school and doing whatever little sorry chores your parents give you, which your little brat, this is your chores when you're with me. Just take the trash out. Just fold the clothes, but it's not like a continuous thing or an everyday thing. It's just like when I feel like you need to do something, but you get up and do that. But I know your mom gives you chores and stuff like that. But all that was in preparation. Like, I'm trying to prepare you for life, and I really feel you take it for granted, because me growing up, like, as much as my mom loves us kids, she was a dream killer.
Loved.
Well, she loves us. Like, but I could be like, dang, I want to do that. You can't do that because this and that and that. And like, dang, well, okay. And like, there just wasn't the support. And, you know, I'm not trying to say that she was a bad mom or anything like that, but she was very busy. She had 5 freaking kids, and it was one of her. And, you know, she had to try to keep a roof over her head and some food in her belly. So that didn't make much opportunity for her to build relationships and have quality time with us. But you have a father like me. Like ever since you were born, I was just like, I want him to be happy, number one. But 2, I want to position him to where he doesn't have to struggle and have to be like the average person in this world. And I feel like with me, with everything you say you want to do, I'm like, yeah, let's go 100%. I'm for it. And I think that you kind of take that for granted, because it's like, you know that
he goes 110. I told him I wanted to try and play tennis. We were there for hours in Arizona heat. You stupid! You don't know how to hit the ball. Form, do your form. You don't know how to hit the ball.
I'm not gonna deny that. If there's anything that anybody that's been in my life can tell you, which is not many people, because I'm not like that with everybody, because it's your choice. But like, if you're directly connected to me, like his mom, when we were married, there's things I try to teach. I try to teach her to play tennis. And after the very first time I tried, I said, I'll never do this again. Because much like this little guy, she refuses to listen. Like, I get it if there's a legitimate reason you can't understand something. Like, if I say, or you can't do something, like if I say, hey, hold this microphone, but you're missing a thumb and your hand doesn't bend, okay, I will 100% be like, I'm gonna give you a pass, bro. Here, I'll hold it for you. But if you have opposable thumb, you guys know, you guys probably don't know that song, and your hand can bend, and you have every ability, you are able to freaking hold the microphone, then I'm gonna talk trash to you about not holding the microphone. So the whole thing with tennis is,
so you're saying if I chop my thumb off, you'll let me go?
You get a pass. Just take them both, because then I'm gonna tell you, be like, hey, switch to the other hand. So you gotta take them both off. So if you're gonna do that, let's think. See, I'm supportive. Kid wants to chop his fingers off, I'm telling him the proper way. You know, like, let's be smart about it. But anyways, so the whole thing with tennis was, we get out there. From start to finish. So I'm not a professional tennis player. The only thing I can teach you is what I know, and hopefully you can progress past that. So the basics, I know. How to properly hold the racket, how to properly swing the racket, form, the way to stand and make sure you're ready. So, you know, I'm teaching him these things. And I'm like, Joshua, hold the racket properly. Joshua, the ball went that way because you weren't holding it. If I got to tell you 15 times, you're going to catch a motherfucker. You stupid after a while. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. You be my mama. You be my daddy. You could be little... I was going to say little retarded Jimmy down the street. But, I mean, if little retarded Jimmy, if he's got learning, you know, if his ability to learn properly, then he gets a pass. But I mean, if he just got like a missing toe and he's making that as an excuse for why he can't remember to hold the racket right, then yeah, little Jimmy going, you stupid motherfucker. It's just like, it's a time thing with me. Like, if I'm going to spend the time to first off share with you what I know, my knowledge, and take the time to spend my time when I could be doing something else or doing somebody else. Like that joke. Nobody. But it sounds good in the perfect world. Then you should at least respect my time and respect the fact that I'm willing to teach you something. And I just feel like when people waste that and they don't properly utilize it, I lash out and call them stupid. Stupid.
Back to the question.
Okay, so anyways, moral of this story is
How long is this?
I want you to do well in life, and I wish you would freaking find some way or something that you're interested in. And I'm not gonna jump. I'm not gonna jump out and buy you what you need for it. I'm gonna sit back and let you struggle a little bit. And once I see you actually putting some real effort into it, then Father will jump in. And if you know me, you know I'm a goddamn lie. But it sounded good. But yeah, focus on something. You're fucking 12, bro. You got
6.
Realistically, you got 6 years before you go out and join the rat race. But if it was up to me, you would bypass that whole rat race bullshit.
It's a race?
It's not a fun race. It's more like it's a race, but this is the type of rat race that we are in as adults. You know a hamster wheel? So yeah, that's the race. You're running in that shit and never really going nowhere. So I don't want you in the cage at all. I want you to be free. Like little Alvin, the first time we got him, that little nigga was running around the house and shit. We got this little. So first, I was supposed to be a hamster, and we got it from the pet store. We didn't get it from the site. We got it from. I'm gonna put them out there. Ooh, their name is like Pratt's Pet Store. They're in Glendale, Arizona. Fuck that store. And fuck the nigga that sold me that motherfucking rat that said it was a hamster. So we went to buy him a hamster. He was like 4 years old. We went and got it. That little fucker was Satan incarnate in a little rodent. He bit him. Soon as we get home, he's like, I want to hold him. The nigga bit him. He still got the scar till today.
That's why.
Oh, I thought you was showing. Okay, he don't have the scar till today. You should have just went with it, nigga.
Oh.
Where's your
Yeah, I got the scar right
Where
here.
is your support? No, just kidding. So I thought you showed me the other day, like, oh, I still got the where he bit me. No,
When?
I don't know. Maybe it was a dream. I be dreaming crazy shit these days, so you never know. So, anyways, yeah, we bought the little rodent, and nigga was running around, bit Joshua. He was fast as hell. So finally, like every time we got out, it was like a 30-minute ordeal. I'm like, I'm tired of this damn thing. So we're gonna get rid of him. And Joshua was in agreement because, like, with Joshua, he loves animals. But the moment you do something to him, he like, fuck you, nigga. Your life needs to end. So he was about that life. He's like, can we kill it? I'm like, no, we're gonna sell it. So he put it right like the fly. So we put it on Craigslist, and we bought this big old mansion for the damn thing. Well, it wasn't a mansion, but the fact I spent money, it was a damn mansion. And so we had all the shit that went with it, the food and everything. So these people were all happy they came out.
Hold on. Before he says anything, we had to buy him so many things. He literally ate his hamster bowl.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about
his
that.
Food bowl. Literally chewed up everything. The bars had like chew marks and stuff.
That's what made me questionable, because everything in his cage, everything was made out of plastic. But hamsters ain't supposed to eat plastic. So that's what made me suspicious, because like we had to buy stuff over and over. Like, how he's eating? Well, he's eating it. He's eating through the plastic of everything. So, anyways, so a family comes. They're like some white people. They were like so excited. And they're like, that's not a hamster or a gerbil. Well, it's supposed to be a gerbil, right?
So they bought it. They left. They went to Walmart. They took it. They went to go get like a hamster cage, a wheel, or something like that.
Yeah, something new that the nigga ate up.
And then they came back to our house and was like, that's not a rat. It's a hamster.
No, other way around. It's not a hamster. It's a rat.
It's not a rat.
And it was at that moment I realized that's why that little motherfucker was tearing shit up and biting people. Because he, like, hamsters is cute. I have friends that had a hamster.
Nigga had rabies.
He didn't have, maybe he did have rabies. Who knows? Maybe that's why you are the way you are, son. My name is Joshua. I've been living with rabies for the last 7 years. Hi, Joshua. So, anyways, they decided to keep it, and because otherwise, I was gonna be like, this motherfucker about to get set free, and I'm gonna go out there and stump his little ass out in the backyard, little fucker. I held a grudge against that thing, because he bit my son. You don't mess with my son. Only I can mess with my son.
I got in trouble because after he bit me, and I was okay. I was holding it by his tail, and my dad walked in, and I was talking trash to him, like, I hate you, you bit. I was holding it by his tail, and my dad comes in and he's like, Joshua, what are you doing? So I drop it back in its cage, and he's like, go in the corner. So I was in the corner like, looking at it. I hate you.
I don't even remember that, but I'm sure it happened. This kid's got memory like a goldfish. The reverse. Goldfish are supposed to have good memory. It's like saying I got dinosaur brains, bro. They big. But dinosaurs are actually supposed to be stupid. Mm-hmm. All right, so anyways, back to these questions. The questions are supposed to be thought-provoking questions, which they are. So
I don't know what's funny about that. I think it's because I have to use my brain.
Yeah.
I don't have much in there.
You're on summer break and you're like, damn, I got to think. Well, they're more life thought-provoking. They're not like solve
X
the equation.
Equals.
Yeah, they're not solved for X. So anyways, first question is, when was the last time you tried something new?
Today. Crack.
Leave it to this kid to go ahead and just left field immediately. Not after 3 questions. Not after a while. We'll go immediately left. It's actually a tough one. Like, I don't think it's tough. I'm pretty sure I tried something new recently, but
yes. Oh, it was 3 days ago. There's this rock at my mom's house at the pool, but it's like
they can't hear you because remember you're not
Oh,
speaking
it's
into your
10 feet
magical
tall.
device.
It's 10 feet tall, and the water's only 5 feet. So I would just like cannonball so that way I don't go all the way down because it's pretty shallow. But I had the smart idea, let me try a flip. So I did a flip off of it, and I was like, wow, this is cool. So I tried a flip.
Was it challenge? Like, were you nervous to do it, or?
Yeah, because it was high and the water was shallow.
Dope. That was a good one.
See, I have brains.
I never questioned that you had brains. It's just the amount. No, I was kidding. This dude is always doing damn spit takes, bro. No more water for you. I'm gonna have a cup of air for you there.
You always make me laugh when I'm drinking water.
Yeah, well, apparently you're always drinking water because you're always laughing.
Magical device.
I would say, and this might be surprising to some.
I'm drinking water.
No, not that. Oh, you're telling me? You're warning. I wouldn't say it's something that I tried new, but it was something that was a little bit out of the ordinary for me yesterday. I had the interview that I mentioned, and sorry if you guys keep hearing about this interview. I'm just excited for my On the Rise show that you can see on
birdingbuddha.com. Buy my t-shirts.
Yeah, well, you don't even have to buy none. You just show some support. That's all you gotta do. You can subscribe. Burning Buddha's on YouTube as well,
Burning Buddha.
And it's on Instagram.
At Burning Buddha.
Yeah, at Burning Buddha Clothing.
He had Burning Buddha. He had Burning Buddha, and I had to correct it.
Yeah, what was that on YouTube? On
Instagram.
On Instagram.
It was Burning Buddha.
For like a year. For like a year. But it wasn't my handle, though. It was like something else, I think.
No, it was your handle.
No, I think it was just the name, handle. But not the actual handle.
Oh, yeah, it was a name.
Yeah, it was the name, but not the handle. So the handle was right, but still, like, the fact that I had that wrong. Like, somebody would have looked at about or something and be like, dude can't even spell Buddha. I do a lot. So, like, I mean, it's easy to make mistakes when you do a lot of shit. Like, handling websites, social media, try to do this, try to live with this kid. Like, it takes a lot.
What sounds good?
What sounds good?
Some Takis and a grilled cheese sandwich with the side of French fries.
Well, all you eat is junk, man. So, anyways, can I answer the question? Like, I was digging deep down into my heart to answer this one, and you just, like, cut me off at the knees. So I'm just going. I tried something new yesterday. So let's go to another question.
It's 3:00 and I had a quarter of a waffle.
Because you had diarrhea since Easter's.
And I had diarrhea.
I'll tell you a story about at the Waffle House.
Oh, so I went to Waffle House and my stomach was hurting. I was like, oh, my stomach is hurting. And she's like, you need a poop. And I was like, no. And then I went to the bathroom, and I was like, oh no. So I left. And then, my bad. I told her, like, that bathroom was nasty. So she was like, I'll take you to Starbucks. So we went to the Starbucks over, and I went.
Hold on, where was the first place you guys were at?
Waffle House.
Oh.
And I went, and then I took a poop. And then she's like, "You had diarrhea," and I was like, "I took a poop."
So that you just took a poop?
I took a poop.
You had explosive poop?
No.
Oh.
It was explosive.
You're lying.
It was semi-explosive. It was.
Well, for your mom to mention it like the first thing that came out of her mouth when I went to pick you up, I think it was
opened the window and went, "He has diarrhea." I'm like,
what are moms for? That's part of that comes with the territory. I guess they figure if they have to go through the pain of carrying you for 9 months, they can embarrass you at any moment in your life. So it's a fair trade-off.
She should have just ended me while she had me in her stomach. Then.
Wow, that got dark. By the way, is that your
magic speaking device?
Right? You made sure to say that, Mike. Is that your Band-Aid on the floor?
No, I ain't had no Band-Aid.
It's pretty nasty. You didn't have a Band-Aid on your foot?
No.
On your
I don't
bunions?
walk around with Band-Aids on my feet.
I remember there was a time that's all you wanted. Like you could bump into the wall, not even a scratch. I need a Band-Aid. Can I have a Band-Aid? A Band-Aid. Everything was a Band-Aid. So I'm like, I'm tired of buying these damn Band-Aids. So what I started doing, I started giving them Marine Corps Band-Aids.
Once, okay. The only time I remember Marine Corps Band-Aids was 2 times. One when I split my knee open, and there was no hospital Band-Aids or anything in the area. So what he did was he grabbed some toilet paper and taped my leg. My knee was split open.
Yeah.
Split, like,
it was stitches worthy.
It was deep. Like in there. Deep. So no stitches, no hospital, no Band-Aid.
Get stitches, get hospital. We was down in the middle. We're in the middle.
Exactly. I said there was nothing there. And I was like, my whole leg was covered in like blood. Like,
Daddy had to improvise.
Yeah.
So I wasn't taking us.
And then Washington.
That was my fault.
He pushed the table.
I kicked it. I tried to do like a karate movie. I tried to kick the table because like we were play fighting, and we had this little like IKEA like nightstand, and it slid. It wasn't supposed to slide, but we had like fake flooring, so it slid easily across it. So I was like, "Oh, bet!" Like he was coming at me, and I was like, "Yeah!" And I kicked the table. And that shit went geek. It was at that moment I realized I fucked up.
Like my toe was like.
No, it was like the bridge of your foot. It just took the meat off. I was like, ugh. And interestingly enough, your mom was sitting there and saw it all, and she didn't say nothing. Usually she'd have flipped out, but she was just.
It's because she knows. It was because that we were living at the trailer, and my mom, whenever she knocked my tooth out, when she kicked my tooth out, was also at the trailer. So
I have a feeling Child Protective Services will be called after this episode. Especially the way you put stuff. She kicked his tooth. Which she did kick his tooth out, but it was totally an accident.
Okay, so let me finish the story and then I'll tell that story. So what was I doing?
You bet when I karate kicked the table.
Oh yeah, so
it was like a distraction, but it
was both at the trailer, and we only lived at the trailer for a couple months.
Like 2 or 3 months.
So it was probably like right there. So what happened was, she was on the bed, and I was like, "Let me tickle her feet." So I tickle her feet, and if you tickle her feet, she just kicks. So she went, ooh, right in my face, and my tooth was like.
Yeah. She's not one for tickling.
I got slapped because I went like that.
Yeah, she gets violent if you tickle her.
She just gets violent in general. I was like, Ma, I don't have any boxes in my drawer. She's like, if I find some, I'ma whoop you.
No, but if she finds some, in what condition? What's the condition if she finds them? You're not gonna say what the condition would be?
Empty.
No, shitty. I mean, I think all parents go through this with their boys, where sometimes they just got a little shit in their drawers. I mean, like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can teach a boy how to wipe his ass, but he's still gonna get shit in his drawers. So, like, I don't have this problem. Damn, you right?
No.
I don't have this problem with them. But yeah, like for a long time while he while he was growing up, he just like, I guess for the sake of not wanting to go to bathroom, he would sit there and wait till the last second, and then he'd be like, "Ooh, got a little squirt in my drawers." And his mom would get freaking piping hot.
I used to get beat every day because of it.
Like she would, like you would swear, freaking, I don't know, a murderer was in the room trying to kill her. That's like how mad and upset and aggravated she get. So I learned real quick with him. I said, okay, well, if the kid keeps having shit in his drawers, and I don't want to wash no shitty drawers, shit, sometimes I gotta wash my own drawers if they got shit in them. Well, just throw them away. I ain't washing them motherfuckers. But so I'm like, I ain't washing the little boy little shitty drawers. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll put the responsibility on him. Go to the bathroom when you feel you need to go. Wipe extra well. That should take care of the problem. He chose not to do those things, so I said, bet. Every time you poop, take care of it. Hop in the shower, clean your drawers, and it's nothing to me. Nothing ever happened in my eyes. But so that was my rule with him. But yeah, his mom, regardless.
I once had a stomach problem. Like I think I had like some stomach virus, and I was in the bed with them sleeping, and I had a dream. I went to the bathroom, and then I was like, I woke up. I was like, no. So I put a pillow between me and my mom, and I'm like, Dad.
Yeah, I was like, go take care of it.
But I couldn't. It was in the bed.
I don't even know if he did.
I think
I probably covered her with a blanket.
No,
go to sleep.
You had to wake her up or like move her to take it and go wash it.
Oh, well, see, I got your back sometimes. But yeah, anyways, I don't know how we got on that tangent. Oh yeah,
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. Sha. So let's go to another question. Damn, we're only gonna get to like 2 questions. Alrighty.
This is an episode of Stranger Things.
My life is an episode of Stranger Things. I should get some royalties because, man, yeah.
My life is an episode of
Depressing Darkness. Okay. Who do you sometimes compare yourself to?
You.
Damn. That was a quick answer.
Or Anthony, I'm like, he's retarded. I'm better than him.
See,
I don't do that.
I took that question in a whole different direction, but I see where you're coming from. He's like, I'm talking better than you.
Yes.
I'm better than this retard. Even I know how to open that. So that's the way we're looking at it.
I do that. You know what I mean? Where it's like people who like do, you know, like those things that are like things that people do every day without knowing. And it was like a diagram of a person like flipping the blanket up and like going so that the blanket could go under their feet. And then a person's just like, haha, I do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like how you cleared your throat. The time he clears his throat, the mic's like this, and he's like,
probably made this.
Maybe. See, and that's another thing. I try to provide ways for him to create income, and
it didn't work out.
He only does it when he really needs something, but it's at his convenience. I can be like, hey, Joshua, I need some bracelets made. Here's the deal. Here's our price structure. For every bracelet he makes, Burning Buddha bracelet, which I haven't even released yet, but I've been wearing them for forever, like a year. And we have a whole bunch made up, but for whatever reason, I haven't put them out there. So look for the Burning Buddha bracelets coming out soon. But anyways,
in like 5 years.
The deal is for every bracelet you create,
I get $2.
You get $3. Yeah, it was originally $3.
But he had to teach me a new way, so it was schooling. So he took $1 off of my paycheck.
Boom, that's life. Sometimes the boss man take away from your pay.
Racist. He kicked.
I'm telling you, like, everything I'm teaching you is a part of life. I'm teaching you that if you don't create your own source of income, then you're at that's not the proper word, disposal. You're at the mercy of your employer. So I just decided one day, I ain't paying you $3 for a damn bracelet. My margins ain't that good. So I'm going to bring it down to $2. And what you going to do about it? You need this job, don't you? So it's a lesson in life. Lesson in
That
life.
job.
Well, you sure the hell was making them bracelets like you needed it. I want to buy Fortnite new season. I want to buy Fortnite new season.
It was actually for Pokemon. Get it right.
Okay. For Pokemon. I want to get the special Mewtwo. Mewtwo is cool, Dad. I'm just kidding. That's not how he talks about it. But, yeah, so that was a life lesson. He makes $2 a bracelet now instead of $3. So what? Take me to Judge Judy, puto.
But the thing is I'm like, can I make a bracelet? And he's like, no.
No, because this is how it is. I'm like, bet, Joshua, I plan on releasing these. I need such and such bracelets made. And it's not like I'm just like, go do it now while I lay on my butt. I'm like, hey, I'm making them. So if you want to make money, now's the time. No, I want to lay here and watch Dragon Ball, an episode I've watched for the last 8 years. And I've seen it 28 times. I've seen it so much, I can literally say every word verbatim in this episode. So he'd rather do that than make money. And then 3 days later, he'd be like, oh, Fortnite, new season's out. And I'm like, well,
no.
Where's your money? Have you, like, what did you do? And he's like, I want to make bracelets. And I'm like, it don't work like that, playa. Remember the other day when I was like, I need such and such amount of bracelets made? Them bracelets got made, bruh. So that period is over. Like,
I created something new.
It's done and over with. So anyways, yeah, that's the whole thing with money. Who do I compare myself to?
Jesus Christ.
Could you stop
Kanye West.
burping into the mic? No. Oh, those are jokes. Like, I'm joking when I do that. Yeah, those are all jokes.
I'm like Rick from Rick and Morty.
I compare myself with the world, with people in general, which is something that I really, really dislike. But I mean, I'm human, so I catch myself sometimes where I'm just like, oh, well, such and such, and at 34 I should be owning a house, and 34 I should be, and then I think about who I am again. I'm like, I'm Joseph motherfucking Explosive. I don't do that, but like, I really think about it. Like, I've actually never been one to fit in. I've never been one to walk the straight line that everybody else walks. I mean, I'm an honest person and all that shit. I don't mean that kind of straight line, but I mean, I've never been the one to.
I still remember from whenever I was like 5. You said you would buy me a Luke Skywalker action figure. Where is it? Huh? I remember for my 6th birthday, because I was the one where my mama left to Mexico. You said you was going to buy me a Broly action figure. Where that at? Where that at?
You probably never got them, but in lieu of those, you got everything else. So I'm doing pretty good if in 12 years you can only complain about 2 action figures that you didn't get bought. Unlike me.
You told me you love me. You told me you were gonna feed me yesterday.
If you don't turn that dang game off, look, he's sitting here playing Dragon Ball Z right now on his game. Buster. So anyways, yeah, I would say I highly dislike it, and I tend to compare myself to the world and my peers, and then I have to snap back to reality. Oh, there goes Rabbity. Oh, there goes Gabbity. Dope, nabbity.
Napkins, napkins.
Bipkins and napkins.
They already heard the story, so don't explain it.
Now I'm just gonna keep Bipkins and napkins.
What is the most sensible thing you've ever heard somebody say? I'm gonna kill myself.
Do it like Judas. I mean,
I'll play it.
Yeah, that's kind of a messed up thing, because, yeah. But sometimes that is sensible. I'd much rather somebody commit suicide versus them just saying, I'm going to fuck everybody up in life, and every day that I live, I'm going to just choose to be shady and all this other stuff. So, shit. End your life then. I think that's sensible.
I think it was rape or get raped. But it wasn't explained like that. It was fend for yourself.
Hey, why?
It was kill or get killed. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Oh, he's talking about it. That was a long, very outside-ish way of explain. Why don't you just say, from the vine of the guy says...
Because copyright.
Fuck you, too. I'll just play y'all.
Check my booty hole.
No, but anyway, so it was a vine. It was a hilarious vine. It's some random black dude. And he's like, I know you know it word for word. Say it the way he said it. Did he cuss?
No.
Oh, okay. So.
He was like, we all die. Either get killed or you either kill or get killed. And he was like,
what you gonna do?
what you gonna do?
Yeah, but he said it a horrible way. The way the dude said it was like very monotone and low and boring, but it was funny though. And then it just cuts and he's dancing. What you gonna do? So yeah, I mean that is pretty sound advice or pretty sound. Man, I'm seriously about to throw your phone. Put it away now. Let me look at the question again. What's the most sensible thing you've ever heard someone say? I would say bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Wow.
I mean, it's been proven in my life. No, I'm just kidding. I've heard a lot of sensible things, but I would probably say, especially keeping with the theme that I've been on during this podcast, I would definitely say, you got one life and you got to live it. You only live once.
I like Yodo better.
You only die once, which is true too if you look at it that way. And I did invent Yodo. I didn't invent YOLO, I invented Yodo. And it was actually a classroom presentation that I did. Yo, shout out to the animation I did. You can see it on the Xplosive Videos channel. It's called Don't Text and Drive. And it was for a class because I drink, I drive. I text, I drive. I fight, I drive. I'm just kidding. I don't drink and drive.
We fought and drove.
No, you were fighting me, and I was too busy laughing and trying to tell you to stop. But like the thing is, once I start laughing, it's hard for me to do anything. Like I freeze up. It's like if you tickle me, if you ever want to fight me or murder me, I probably shouldn't be putting that out there. Just tickle me, because I lose.
I've never
everything.
been actually able to tickle him though. Never in my life have I ever tickled him. It is like the hardest thing to do. His feet are scaly. He has no feeling down there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like. Up here,
it's because you don't. It's because that kind of did tickle. Stop. It's because you don't know how to tickle. But his mom, like, she knew, like, she's a tiny little thing, and it, I used to be nice and swole and strong and shit, and like she knew that was the way to render me defenseless. Like, just tickle me, and I'm like, stop, and she do whatever she wants to me. But anyways, yeah. So
did you know that you can't tickle yourself because your body is waiting for it to happen?
Kind of like you can't lick your elbow, huh?
No, that's like physical, but this is like you can't tickle yourself because you know it's gonna happen.
It's like the choking yourself. You can't physically strangle yourself with your own hand.
Yeah.
Leave it to this nigga to try it. I really need to take out an insurance policy on you. Now that I think about it, because the way this kid lives life. Okay, so anyways, yeah, that was probably the most sensible thing. Is just really to live life. My biggest thing, and I feel like I say it to a lot of people, and I don't know if it's out of the sake of them consoling themselves and wanting to be able to sleep at night, but I'm just like, bro, one day you're gonna be 65, 75, you're gonna be on your deathbed, and I feel like the worst thing, because I have regrets. Like, I was like at 25 and realized I had freaking regrets. So I learned early on. I was like, man, I don't ever want to regret again. So my biggest fear is that people, they live the life like kind of how I talked about earlier, where they do everything, or they work a job just to get to retirement, a job that they hate that's killing them slowly, and they do nothing with their life, and then be on their deathbed and be like, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have took that risk, or I wish I would have started my own business, or I wish I would have spent more time with my family and less time at work. Like, to me, that would be the biggest regret, because you're literally at the end, you're dying. And all you got to do on the premise of you dying in itself, that's already usually a sad occasion. But on top of that, you're like, I'm dying and I lived an unfulfilled life. To me, that's it. And I've done some stupid shit. I could tell you some stories. I've done some stupid shit in these last few years that I've been living life and kind of having this whole different view on life. But at the end of the day, I can say I lived it, and I got many stories to tell. So not proud of everything, but at least I can say I've done some things, and I made choices. Like, I quit my job back in February to go full time with Burning Buddha, and here I am doing a podcast. No, but it all ties together.
Why did you do number 5 instead of number 4?
What's number 4?
What gets you excited about life?
Oh, that's easy for me. You get me excited about life.
Yeah, because every time I wake up at my mom's house, I'm like, I hate this place. I can't wait until Wednesday, or I can't wait until Thursday. And I'm like, yay! Whenever I'm at dad's house, and I'm like,
No, but I'm dead serious, and thank you. I appreciate that, and I know that's how it is. But like, dead ass, like when I'm here, when you're with me, that's when I have life. Like, other than that, I'm just kind of just going through the motions. And that's been me lately. And I guess there's things that I need to deal with, but I'm a dead soul.
But the ads just start
Until
randomly
you come,
playing.
no, you literally just click that ad. So, anyways, yeah, you bring me fulfillment in life, or whatever makes me happy in life. So, anyways, number 5.
What life lesson did you learn the hard way? I instantly know this one. Football. Every time I caught the ball, I do a little hop. You know what he did to me? I did a little hop, like, ooh, boom.
Dude, I wish you would tell stories the accurate way.
I was like, died for 5 minutes. He's just looking at me like.
All right. So, any fathers or big brothers that are watching this, you know them situations where you want to teach a hard lesson, but in the act that you're taking, go ahead, I can continue talking. In the act that you're taking to teach that lesson, it goes a little bit further than what you expected it to. So let me tell you the situation. Just go to the bathroom. You don't have to be a freaking clown, a slapstick clown. Just go pee and come back. He's gonna make noise all the way to the bathroom, all the way back. He's gonna come back rolling, hitting his head along. They're like, just go to the bathroom and come back, dude. You don't gotta do all that. So, anyways, again, my time is valuable, and if I say that, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, all day you gotta work. No, but the fact is, if I choose to sit in a chair, fucking stare at the wall, or watch the paint dry, that's my prerogative. It's still my time, and I'm choosing to spend it the way I want to. So he really got in this football kick years ago, and he's like, Dad, I want to learn football. So I'm like, bet. I'm going to teach you. Best I could do is teach you everything I know. So we go to the park, and we're working on. He had no hands. This kid was shitty. I was like, goddamn, stick to martial arts because you have no hand-eye coordination, and you don't play with balls. That didn't sound right. But, yeah, he sucked. So I'm like, okay, we're going to focus on catching. So he got in this little habit to where every time the ball came to him, it didn't matter how the pass could be straight in the paint, in the numbers, like straight to his chest. And he wants to find a reason to jump in the air. And I told him, every time we pray, I'm like, stop jumping in the air, because if you jump in the air, if you're in a game, the first thing a person's going to want to do is take your legs out. And he would never listen. So we were at the park one day, and he was doing it. So I'm like, bet. I'm like, listen. I told you quit doing this. You're not understanding the reason I'm telling you to do it, even though I'm explaining in full detail why you don't jump unless you absolutely have to. So I said, jump in there. He jumped. I kicked the shit out of his legs. He said, boom. And it was one of those hits where it was like a solid hit, like chest hit first. Nothing else hit but chest on the ground. He's like, I was like, oh shit. But, being dad, I had to save face. So I was like, yeah, get up. And he was like, he was just like bawling. He was like,
I couldn't breathe.
That's like Gohan. He was like Gohan, like when Gohan was a little biatch when the Saiyans first came to the earth.
Wow.
Like, that's what he sounded like. But I get it, because like all his wind was gone, everything. And then too, he had an inhaler in his part. Like, why would you have an inhaler in your freaking part? Was it your inhaler or your phone?
Yes, it was my inhaler.
And I'm like,
I have asthma. I already have breathing problems already trying to take me out.
But every time we do something physical, what do you're supposed to empty your freaking pockets. No. But anyways, that's besides the fact. So anyways, yeah, it went a little further than what I expected. I just wanted to teach the kid a lesson. But apparently I did really teach you a lesson, because you said that's the most sensible or valuable. Yeah, so he doesn't jump now. I mean, unless he absolutely has to catch a ball. So you're welcome, son. It was really a good thing I did for you. Yeah, he got. I felt like shit. Like any true parent that loves their kid, like it hurts you to hurt your child, like physically, emotionally. It hurts you to, and sometimes you're not aware of it, like because we repeat shit that we're taught and stuff like that. But to see him physically in pain, and it was something that I did. I guess my ego was a little bit bigger at the moment, so I did, and plus it was a teachable moment, so I was just like, get up. But inside I was like, get up, son. Are you okay? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. It's supposed to go down like that. But anyway, he's here. He's healthy. And you learned a life lesson. Oh, he did have to get a surgery. I was kidding. He had to get a surgery after that.
I had to pierce the lung 5 5 broken ribs,
Right.
3 concussions.
Man, that was a bad spill. I felt bad. And then there was white people around. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to jail. Kids crying. I'm like, get up, son. Get up. You understand? Dad's going to jail for a long time if you don't get up.
Good, get booty raped.
So anyways.
Welcome back, guys. So,
Hang on. All right, so camera decided it wanted to die, so we have no idea where it cut off at. That would suck if it just cut off at the beginning when I was going off on you. You're like, what a horrible parent he is.
he beat him.
He died just like the camera.
Okay.
So we have no idea where it cut off at, so we're just going to continue on. But let's go back to that last question because I liked your answer.
What do you wish you spent more time on doing 5 years ago?
Oh, yeah, we didn't even answer it, so.
I wish that I would have 5 years ago.
2014. Well, why do you think I'm going to answer? I wish I would have been investing in
Any kid is investing.
in myself and which in essence me investing in myself is investing in my family. Just doing my own thing and not trying to work on a job and make other people rich. Definitely with the YouTube thing. I wish I would have kept up with that. I'm gonna go hang myself now. Just kidding. All right, what's yours from 5 years ago?
5 years ago was second grade. Second grade was the worst. The worst. I don't even know how I passed second grade because
You got freaking straight A's till like 5th grade.
I had straight A's in second grade.
You got straight A's all the way. I think 5th grade was the first time you didn't get straight A's.
Because the thing, whenever we did subtraction,
Hello.
every time that one number, like if it was the ones, like if it was 28 minus like 19, like the ones wouldn't add up.
Oh, we
I'd
had to
flip
borrow.
I'd flip it and then I'd add some random stuff.
Okay. So you would go back and change your ability to do subtraction.
No, I'd go back in time and try and avoid second grade.
No, there's a thing called truancy. And I would get put in jail. So your ass is going to second grade. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Trying to stay in Washington.
So trying to stay on. Oh.
Washington was amazing. I love Tall Green, except for whenever I saw that little, whatever that thing was, that ghost.
The apparition. The aborigine. I'm
No.
kidding.
Ghost. He was black with a flat top and a striped shirt.
He died early 90s.
But he was clear, like I could see through him, but I could still see him. And then he laughed at me and then disappeared, like he looked like that and then disappeared. And I went to check where he was. I opened the closet, so I was checking like the whole house, freaking Inspector Gadget. Just, where is he? And then I was like, quietly go to my parents' room, tell them that I saw somebody, and they disappeared.
So you did what all white people do in movies. You went and investigated.
But we
You saw a ghost and went and investigated.
We were living in Washington. Don't judge me.
I get it. That was a different time period in your life. You were a different
I
child.
am a completely different child.
True that. But still, yeah. I remember we'd be at the grocery store and somebody'd be like, shit. He'd be like, Dad, that man cuss. And I'm like, shut up. Stupid.
I didn't know what a bad word was. I didn't know what were the bad words.
Yeah, but certain ones he knew, he would make sure and broadcast it. And I'm like, ugh. That was so annoying. I think when it comes to language, realistically, the words that I'm speaking are just sounds that my mouth is making. So the fact that people can have issues, and this is all coming from a place, some of you guys are probably like, what the hell is he talking about? But like, just in religion and the world in general, I find it funny that people find certain things offensive, like the fact that I am making a noise out of my mouth. It can be extremely offensive that I say shit. Now, granted, there are things that come with certain things you say. You can say them in a certain way that has a feeling attached to it. But the fact that I say shit, fuck, damn, and it ruffles your feathers, It's literally just a sound that's coming out of my mouth. So get over it, motherfucker.
It ruffles your feathers.
Ruffle your feathers.
My feathers are ruffled.
It's the same, bro. Do another question? Quit drinking so much damn water, man. That's
Do
why
you
you're gonna get a
ask
man
enough questions, or do you settle for what you know? It depends. If I'm arguing, or say like Anthony with the business, he's like, well, we're making money. I'm like, how much money? How much money? What are you doing about it? How are you still in this business? You haven't did anything in a while. Well, this and this and this. It depends. If I'm arguing or if I felt like I get enough, then yeah, but I'll stop. But if I'm trying to prove a point and dig and dig and dig, I'm gonna keep asking.
Yeah, kind of chip off the old block there with that. And he is I don't know that situation he's talking about, Anthony, who's the stepdad, but I know Joshua does get into this thing when he's trying to prove a point, or when he's mad, or when he has an opposing view or something, or he's calling your bullshit. He will drill and question and question and question, and it annoys the life out of me. Only kind of because that's kind of what I do sometimes too. So, but do you mind letting me answer the questions?
I answered. I'm going ahead.
Right.
You're slow.
Selfish. Do you ask questions? Definitely, I ask questions. I'm one of those people that are inquisitive. Like, I've always been that way. I remember my mom used to force us to go to church as kids, and I remember in Sunday school, like, you know, they teach you what they teach you, and I was like, yo, like, and it was a legitimate question. I wasn't trying to be smart or anything. I was like, why do we have to come to church to worship God? Can't we just worship God at our house? Why do we have to come here? Why do I have to be here with kids that talk smack and steal and do all kind of other stuff, and adults committing adultery and all this? Like, why come here? Why can't I just stay at home? And then they were like, you know, they talk about, you know, God wants us to assemble and
Avengers, assemble.
Yeah, and do all that together and everything like that, forsaking not the assemblies of ourselves, or the matter of some is. But it was funny because, and this was like a huge turnoff to me, because the Bible school teacher refused to answer it. So we literally had to take the whole class this is before church, it was Bible study, and we went to go find the pastor. And the pastor sat down, and I felt like he hem-hummed, like at like age 5, I was like, he's avoiding the question. He's like fluffing it up. So he hem-hummed around it, and I still wasn't left satisfied with that answer. But pretty much what it boiled down to was, God wants us to be together and worship together. And I was like, well, look at what together is in my house. I have a mom, and there's 5 kids. That's a lot of people. Like, we can do it amongst ourselves. So anyways, so I've always naturally been inquisitive, and I've never been afraid to ask questions that might, you know, ruffle some feathers. And that's like, in the way I live my life, that's the way it is. Like, I ask why to everything. Like, why? And it's not in a way like just to be an ass. I ask why, like, well, why does it have to be that way? Why should I parent my child this way? Why should I not be my son's best friend? Why should I be a father and not his best? I can't stand when parents say that. I'm not my kid's best friend. I'm not my kid's friend. I'm their mom. I'm their dad. Well, guess what, mom and dad? Who is your kid going to, since you're not their friend? Who are they going to get their advice? Who are they going to with those struggles in life? Kids struggle. Especially in this day and age, they struggle. So guess where they're going to get that information that you should be able to give them, because you've experienced and lived life and you know things. Guess where they're going to? They're going to the other stupid little kids that are amongst their groups and learning about that shit you should be teaching them about real life. Like, one kid asked my son, if a girl gives a guy a blowjob, can she get pregnant?
I remember that.
And I think like she was leaning toward yes, like she was kind of like, she thought that was the case. So
she's like, just asking, and I'm like,
so now let's take this situation with me and Joshua. Had we not had the relationship that we had, he could have easily been persuaded, or there could be 2 12-year-olds walking around right now thinking that a blowjob would get a woman pregnant.
No, but they asked me to ask you.
Oh, okay.
They're like,
that's another
ask
thing.
your dad, because they know he's like the chill person, chill, like whatever.
I'm real. I don't
They're
play
like,
this I'm an
ask
adult,
your
you're a kid
dad
thing.
If a blowjob can get somebody pregnant. And I was like,
and they
Okay.
learned that day that they can't. And whatever you might say, that's the thing that their parents should be teaching, but that still goes in line with what I was saying. Why weren't those kids comfortable enough to ask their parent? I feel like if you have the question, then you are able to receive an answer. That doesn't mean it has to be a straight, blunt, and horror, like a answer that would completely freak somebody out. Yeah, like, Dad, I'm sick. The doctor says I have cancer. What is cancer? You're gonna fucking die, kid. Like, no, there's a way to speak the truth. And I feel like having, like, if me and my son didn't have the relationship we had, he wouldn't ask me. And there would be, it sounds like, a group of 12-year-olds walking around right now believing that girls could get pregnant off a blowjob. So, like, being my son's friend, like, I'm his father and I'm his friend. But one thing I don't ever want is for him to feel like he can't come to me about stuff. And that's case in point where he's comfortable. I feel like in almost everything he's comfortable. I mean, there might be some stuff he might not be, but
Papa John's is possessing my phone.
I like how we transitioned into Papa John's.
Papa John's is possessing the phone.
That phone, yeah. That phone does it. What the hell? No, it just...
That was a lie.
Yeah, so Papa John's just decided to advertise in my email.
Okay. Who do you love and what are you doing about it? I love you.
You creeping me out about it. That's what you're doing. I love you too.
No homo though.
I love other people.
What's your brief?
You know who you are.
Oh, what's a belief that you told with me?
Damn, that summer slide. That summer slide. This boy, he ain't read nothing. Look, them Hershey Kisses ain't got nothing to read on them. This boy ain't read.
Kisses.
Oh yeah, Kisses. Nah, that's just you're identifying it. You know that when you see that paper, it says Kisses. All right, so I'll read the question. What's a belief that you hold with which many people disagree? Mine would be going back to the whole being a friend to your child versus being just a parent. I don't believe you should be just one and not the other. You should be both. But number one, I'm going to be my son's friend. And if he ever tries to break our friendship, I will find you and I will hunt you. And I would... No, I was kidding.
I think it's being weird and being yourself because other people are like, stick to the script, do this. And I'm like, no, you whore. Then suck on my booty hole.
That's my boy. Not the whole suck on my booty hole and horror part, but free thinker, free spirit. His mom hates that. She gets so mad whenever he wants to do something, like if it was dyeing his hair or even getting the dreads. She'd be like, Joseph, he's so much like you. He just wants to be a free spirit. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? You want him to be Johnny Cookie Cutter down the street. I want him to use that thing inside his head and be the best individual that he can be. But she gets so mad that he's a free thinker. It's like, hey, all the kids are wearing Jordan. Son, don't you want to wear Jordan? He's like, hell no. I want to wear that burning Buddha shirt with the alien on it that says normal people scare me. And I'm like, I love it.
Reeboks. People don't buy Reeboks. I do. And
he actually calls them Reeboks. Let's not pretend that you just forced yourself to say it properly.
I know. I was like, Reebok.
It's so funny. Like his mom's cool. Like I like her, and it might come across a different way. Like with some of the stories that another dollar in another pocket. This kid's he put on pets yesterday or the day before. He's like $1.
I think it's the same dollar.
Oh, so you just keep putting it in pants and wash them.
I'm lucky.
Well, I guess you always feel like you find them, you get money, even though it's the same recycled dollar.
He hit me.
But anyways, hold on. Let me talk about. I was on your mom. I was just gonna say the whole Rebooks thing is because his mom says Rebooks because she has a very thick accent and she pronounces words very wrong, and it's funny, and I think it's hilarious.
I was gonna say whenever I got dreads because I just wanted to try something new, she was like, "You're turning him into a thug. Why would you do this? He's gonna turn into a thug." Yeah,
she legit she had that conversation.
Thought a hairstyle was gonna turn me into a thug.
She thought because he was gonna get dreads, he was automatically gonna turn into a thug. I laughed, but I also it really upset me. Of all the things that we've discussed and had conversations about, that one really upset me because it's like you literally your child, and you think that a hairstyle is going to completely convert your child into a thug at age 11? But anyways, he got the dreads. She approved it. Eventually, she approved it. We talked about it. Took some convincing, and she approved it, and she was like, I actually like him. And her baby's not a thug.
Yeah. Am I a thug? No, I'm a free spirit.
Free spirited nerd.
I'm not a nerd, okay? I just like to study the Constitution.
You just like to play Minecraft and sit around and watch people play video games on YouTube and sit there and you read anime books and you read them from the back.
It's called manga.
You read manga. I'm sorry, Mr. Nerd.
Nerd.
Just kidding.
Okay.
I've never really been a nerd. I've been called a nerd. I'm like, bro, I'm a nerd. I'm retarded. But
Okay.
I am into tech.
Anyway,
shit.
what can you do today that you were not capable a year ago? This.
You would take these thought-provoking questions and dumb them down to...
Did I just step on that light?
Thought-provoking question. What can you do today that you were not capable of a year ago? Love myself. I'm just kidding. That's actually a good answer. No, I don't love myself fully. I'm trying to work on it, but this is a simple one. Wake up when the fuck I want to. I used to have to wake up and go to work. Now I wake up and work is here. I love it.
Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? It depends.
If you cry, you a bitch.
It
Bitch ass niggas out here crying for females, crying from pain, crying from all this shit. Y'all some bitch ass niggas. Y'all need to man up, get on my motherfucking level, cause I tell you what, ain't nothing wet ever left from this eye.
Besides Father's Day. Okay, so if you like stub your toe, actually no, I shouldn't say that because I stubbed my toe and I broke my foot. I broke my foot from stubbing my toe. I broke my toe and I broke my foot. So, I should not say stub my toe. So, if you like... then, yeah, that's a sign of weakness. But, if it's like a... I don't know, but if it's not like a little... If it's like... I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, we knew a kid one time that was vacuuming and stubbed his toe on a coffee table.
But it wasn't like
and
I broke my foot. Literally broke my foot.
Yeah, he broke his toe,
toe.
and a bone on the top of his foot.
Yeah, so like, yeah, crying.
Stubbing his toe.
Yeah. But he like... but he didn't say anything. He didn't. We were like, where is he? He's in the corner. Like,
yeah, legit crying. And yeah, we thought that was interesting and laughed. But
after the fact, because we're not that mean.
I definitely don't think crying is a sign of weakness. I think some people, as a sign of their weakness, they cry. I don't know if that makes any sense, but damn, this shit keeps going back to your mom. I'm gonna try to leave your mom out of it. But some people, they just cry. Some people just cry just to cry. Some people cry like because they feel like it would divert attention of things. So like, let's say me and Joshua, let's say Joshua drops my phone and breaks it, and I'm like, yo, bro, why'd you do that? And they're like, try to avert, the whole situation and just cry and get sympathy. I think that's a sign of weakness just through their weakness. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with crying. I remember one time, let me tell you a story one time. I remember one time, man, it was a beautiful day. Like, those one days where everything is just like, it's cool. Like, I don't know if it was spring, but it seemed like a perfectly chill spring day. We lived in these apartments. There's a stone table with some little things around it to sit on benches. And I remember my one of my nephews was just born. His name is BJ. He's like 23 now, 22. But I was like 10 years old. And I just remember like they had brought him over, and it was my first time seeing him, and I was like laying with my face. I was laying on the bench because the car seat was down like below the bench on the floor, and I just like had my head up high, up high enough to where it wasn't on the bench, and I was just like looking at his face, and I was just like, man, like my friends, like all my friends there, we were playing and stuff. Then they just brought the baby, so I took a chill pill, and my friends were just sitting there while I was chilling with my nephew, and I was just like looking at him like, man, life is beautiful. Like, look at this beautiful baby. And for whatever reason, my dad saw that moment, like life was good for a second there. Like it wasn't total destruction and chaos. It was just like peace. And I was looking at the beautiful baby, and out of nowhere, he just boom slaps the shit out of me. And he slapped me so hard. My face hit the damn thing and bounced off. Now that thing was concrete. And I just looked at him, and then he's like, "You better not cry." And like, I'm okay. So it's him sitting there saying, "You better not cry." Then I look, and it's my other friend. His name is Joseph. And then it was his brother Tommy. And then so like everybody was there. It's like now I'm on the spot, and I'm like, "It was a very mean thing you did, and I don't want to cry because I don't want to let my dad down, and my friends are watching." So you know what I did? I held it together. I didn't hold it together. I was like, I tried with all of my might. I was just like. And then the tears just started coming down my face. But like I couldn't figure like, why would you do that? I don't know why he did, but he did that. He slapped the shit out of me. So yeah, I cried.
What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you?
I'd come out the closet. I'm just kidding.
And the main reason is because of me. Because you don't want to come out the closet because people would judge you. But I would be the person judging you.
Oh, I get it now. No, I'm not gay. Like that's actually gay is like we use the word gay, but like that's gay. That's stupid. That's you faggot. But there's nothing wrong with being gay, and like there'd be no problem with it. What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge?
I'm pretty open.
I really don't care about people. Like I'm sure people judge me. Like,
but who cares? That's them. I'm living me. They're living them. They want to judge. That's them.
When I made the choice to quit my job, which was a very good job, nobody could figure. Like, there's very few people I talk to, like even friends and stuff. Like very few even understand. Like, why? But you got this, you got that, you got benefits. It's a good job, and it's still. I would love to have your job. I'm just like, you don't understand. And I think some people are like, he's stupid. And they probably like, I hope he falls flat on his face. Well, I tell you what, when I get off my face and I do make it, I'm going to say, I told you, nigga. When I do get up. But right now, you're right. I'm on my face. I'm going to get up.
Next question. Do you celebrate things you have? Yes, I celebrate this one's birthday.
I think you forgot my birthday this year. You didn't wish me a happy birthday on my birthday, man. Come on. How you going to celebrate my birthday?
Which one?
What day is my birthday?
The 19th
of October. He only knows that now because I made a stink about it. I'm like, nigga, you know your mama's birthday. You know it was the first time she had her menstrual cycle. You know, I was kidding.
Yeah.
But like he knew everything. And Mother's Day, she always got to give. So one year I went hard on her. I went hard in the paint. I was like, Father's Day, I didn't get shit for Father's Day. What you do for your mama? You bought her something. Remember that time you bought her that Hello Kitty thing? Yeah. Remember her birthday? Yeah. You know when when my birthday, he didn't know when my birthday was. So I went hard. So now he October 19th. Good job, son. Yeah.
It was my birthday.
Damn. I got too many kids to remember all your damn birthdays. We're going to do it one day a year. I was kidding. December 21st, 2006.
Okay. What is the difference between living and existing? Ooh, okay. I got that answer. Okay. So living is whenever you're living your best life. You're doing whatever you can. You're living free. You're living
Time
open.
Out. Living my best life t-shirt. www.burningbuddha.com. There's really a living my best life t-shirt. Okay. Time in.
Okay. And existing is
I'm sorry, can you start over? Because
living
I messed
without
it up.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Keep going. So what's the difference between living and existing?
Living is whenever you're doing stuff that makes you happy, doing stuff that you're doing stuff that you're living in open freely, and existing is following the rule book, following this, doing this, and doing this, but you're not really living. You're not really. Amen.
Amen. You preach. He answered it. That's exactly the way.
If not now, then when? Tomorrow?
There's two ways I answer that. When it comes to shit I need to do, it's I'll procrastinate.
Oh yeah, me too.
But other than that, like
I'll be like, I'll do that tomorrow, next day.
But like
I'll do that in an hour.
Making decisions, like making sound decisions and things, like I'm definitely willing. I'm like, let's live now because tomorrow's not promised. So that's kind of a twofold for me. Like if it's something like, yeah, I know I need to get up and pay that bill, I'll be like, man, I'll push that off till tomorrow. And the next thing you know, the lights is off and shit.
Yup.
Whatever. But like if it's other stuff, I believe in doing it today. Like if I die tonight, it doesn't matter if the lights and bills are paid.
Yes,
but
I do because I'm still here.
Nigga, that don't mind. I'm dead. What that mean to me? But if it's something like, oh, I always wanted to take a vacation, or I wanted to go do this, and you just keep putting it off tomorrow, that's where the difference is to me. I'm like, let's do it today. I got $10 in my pocket, nigga. We finna go to Mexico, nigga. We finna be living the life. I'm about to convert these dollars to pesos. We're gonna get about like, for $10, we probably get like 28 pesos. You know what I'm saying? And then we just gonna live little life.
What was he talking about? I was just reading it.
I don't even know. Like, I just, like, sometimes my brain go on autopilot, and I think that's why I could talk a long time sometimes. And then I come back and I'm like,
like, that's how I was when I had a concussion. I was on autopilot the entire time. I was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I literally jumped back into that conversation at the end, around the time when I said pesos and spending. And then I was like,
I did too. I was like, when did he get pesos?
I was like on a spaceship and landed back here. And then I was like, who the fuck is talking through me right now? Okay, next question.
What does your joy look like today?
I'm looking at him. Nigga, stop trying to steal all my answers. I could tell you. Like,
I answered first.
So this primarily is what my joy looks like.
It's the milk dud.
I just shaved it too. That shit hurt, man. I need another way to get rid of the hair that I got on my cul-de-sac. I got a cul-de-sac. This don't grow right here. Yeah. So there's many different ways I can answer that, but for the sake of this being
short,
a fairly
after
clean podcast, I'm gonna go ahead and say there's some joys, and there's some people I know that brings some joy to me. You know what I mean? But we talking about that later. Calm down. If you don't quit burping in this mic, bro.
You don't know how many burps I held in my mouth. I don't want to do that.
There's
anymore.
a silent way to do a burp.
How?
Speaking of silent, you see somebody do some,
I've been doing that.
or you could just go like, oh, you could.
But then every time I burp, you're just gonna hear.
Did you know you could burp your dick hole? For real, like you could train your muscles. I'm just kidding. I was really gonna go with that, but yeah, I figured for the sake of time.
Be like Jason. You should have heard. Oh my god, it was.
That was funny because I heard it too. Yeah. So I will give you guys a little bit of context because he just likes to say stuff that you'll never know.
Me and my little cousin were playing Fortnite, and my other cousin joined the party, and he's like.
Now they're all online, mind you. They're not in the same vicinity. They're playing online because that's what kids do these days.
Yeah, and we were talking through like mics and stuff. So me and my cousin were playing, we were talking, and then he joins and he says a few stuff like, "Come join my party," and then like while he's breathing, you just hear. It
was legit like labored, but yet like it sounded sexual, but very labored, and I was like,
Jason, why are you moaning? He's like, I'm not moaning, and then, so while me and my cousin are trying to focus, playing, trying to like be experts at this game, we just.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I don't think he wrote. Maybe
and
the mic was.
His mom came in. It was like, okay, so I'm English now. So she was saying,
say it in Spanish.
Todo el día están jugando el I forgot.
Fortnite in el Xbox.
No, she's like, este juego. I said that way wrong. I'm a gringo now. Este juego. Yo te dije. Págalo. I think I said pay.
Yeah, but we get it. So pretty much she yelled at him for being on the game system all day, and she told him to turn
English,
it off.
she's like, I told you to stop playing that game. She's like, you've been playing that game all day, every day. You better stop. Turn it off. And then you just hear that. While she's yelling in the background. But I don't want to be like racist or anything, and everything we say is a joke. But if you go online with any Mexican kid, you hear, why are you playing this game? Why are you doing this? Blah, 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 blah. Come eat, blah, 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 blah. Like, literally every kid who speaks Spanish has a mom screaming at them in the background. Like, I don't care.
And then they have a little brother or sister that's over there singing and talking. Yeah.
Literally, like, I was playing squads with these random people, and there was, like, a little girl just like, hey. He's like, stop. Hey. And then my friend, he's Mexican too, and he's like, it was like a little sister, I think. And he says, hey. He's like, stop. And then his mom is like, ven aquí. And hey. He's like,
Yeah, that's one of those things that comes with it if you're playing somebody like that. But anyways, back to Jason. Shout out Jason. I love you, little dude. Haven't seen you in many years. I still love you though. He's still my nephew. And I was coming to his defense with that. Like, I'm sure the mic was like super close, and he's a little heavy set. So I mean, us bigger people,
he's like 3 times my size.
We breathe kind of heavy, so he probably just had the mic.
And about like a foot taller than me. So just saying.
The mic was probably like
he's
really
a year
close to his
younger
mouth.
than me, though, so like.
You know, sometimes we labor when we breathe, bro.
But anyway, is it possible to lie without saying a word? Yes. Joshua, did you do it?
No. Like, who broke this goddamn vase?
Did you poop in the toilet? Not wipe. And not wipe for leaving unflushed.
Shit.
Who doesn't know how to flush the toilet after they had it?
Shit.
It's not me. It was one of us.
Well, it was one of us. Yeah, that was kind of a dumb one. Definitely, you could
If
lie.
you had a friend who spoke to you in the same way that you sometimes speak to yourself, how long would you allow this person to be your friend?
God damn, that's deep.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a counseling session right now. And I feel like somebody else should be leading this. 'Cause
how do I talk to myself? Hey, Joshua, do you want to go tickle your pickle? Sure. Hey, Joshua, do you want to eat some Takis? Sure.
You actually talk to yourself like that?
No.
Oh,
but it's
my God.
always like, hey, Joshua, do you want to like, but not like, hey, Joshua. It's just like, I want some Takis. Should I get Takis? And then a little voice, that demon on my shoulder. Yes.
Eat the whole bag.
Eat the whole bag.
Nobody
You
else
won't
likes-
have stomach problems.
Nobody else likes Takis in the house, so you can just eat them all.
Yeah, eat them all.
Yeah, I know where they're going at with that question. And with you, I see you down talk yourself a lot, and that's obviously probably something learned.
I'll
So,
be like, I'm retarded, but like,
yeah.
joke.
Well, I mean, but there's usually truth to the jokes that we tell, and I think there's some underlying where you probably like are. It's
Truth to the jokes we
a
tell.
self-esteem.
You're
it's,
gay.
It's
Truth. You're gay.
it,
Truth to the jokes. Truth to the jokes. You're gay.
okay. I'm glad you find that so
You're
entertaining.
gay,
Right? I'm just
you're
waiting
gay,
so we
you're
could
gay.
continue.
You're gay. You know you belong. And you're gay.
You're gay. You're why.
No, I don't care how you pronounce it. It's you're gay.
So yeah, probably wouldn't be my friend. I'd probably fight myself. I'm like, look, bitch, don't you ever talk to me like that again? Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm really hard on myself.
Yeah, you belong right there. You're gay.
You're gay.
You're gay.
What about a pair of gay?
No, you're gay.
But there's a pair of gay, so that's 2 gays.
But you're gay.
Okay.
Haha, you belong there.
Okay. Good joke. I'm sure everybody's laughing.
It was funny.
Yeah. No, the conversation I have with myself is pretty bad, and yeah, I need to work on that. I'll be honest. Because I'm such a failure. in life.
West Virginia.
Such a loser. I hate myself. Oh man, I remember.
My mom always down talks me. She's like, you always do this and this and this. Blah, 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 blah. Kevin always does this for his mom. Kevin sends his mom videos. What do? You can't even text me. You can't do this for me. I'm like, I'm trying my hardest at school for you. For you. I don't care about my grades. My dad don't care about my grades.
Do you care about speaking into the device?
I am speaking into the device. I just went like this for 3 seconds.
Okay.
Always down talking me.
So since you brought that up, yeah. Okay, it's definitely not good. And I'm not coming down on her, but one thing that she hated the most, like seriously, this was probably one of her biggest pet peeves, was growing up, her father always compared her to her cousins. And she hated it the most. And it's so interesting as humans that
we repeat history.
Yeah, although it caused her so much pain and trauma, that's something that it sounds like she has done to you. But it's interesting that we do that as humans. Like
it's almost every day. You don't do this for me. You can't do this for me. Kevin does this for his mom. So does this for this mom. And what do you do for me? You didn't even give me Mother's Day gift. You can't even do me.
Yeah. So I'm definitely not excusing it, but like knowing that, you could kind of understand. Like, damn, like you said, it was a learned behavior, and I'm sure she's probably not even fully aware that happens because she knows how much it hurts. So. That's a conversation you can have with her.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Oh, no, I'm good. So if you're watching this.
Conversations with her is like talking to a wall. Everything ends up back on me. I could be like, you broke the dish, and she's like, well, who bought the dish? You. Well, who gave the dish to me? He's like, well, I did. Oh, my bad. He's like, everything turns around on me. I'm like, I didn't do it though.
I wish I could follow that in that little example you gave, but I'm lost. She bought a dish and turned it on you.
She broke it and blamed it on me. But I'm like, you're the one who dropped it.
Oh, and she's like, well, then I bought it.
You gave it to me. I'm like, well, okay.
Oh, so she's saying you gave her the dish, and because
So
you gave it to
fault,
her,
yeah.
it broke. Okay, I
It's
get
my
it now.
fault that I never do this for her, or it's my fault that I do this and I don't do this. So it's my fault.
I get it. Yeah.
That provoke. Oh, that's just the title.
Let this be our last one, because it does say an hour and 50 minutes, even though we had, who knows, we probably only got 10 minutes on the first portion of the podcast before the fucking camera died, which it might be dead right now.
No, the button is flashing.
It's not on though. Okay, we're good. All right, last question.
Which activities make you lose track of time? TV.
Sex. Oh, I don't have none. Porn. The touching of my penis. Just kidding. Doesn't last that long to lose track. That's all a joke, guys.
Like Stranger Things. I was up at like midnight and I was watching Stranger Things. I felt like 3 episodes went by and I was up at like 3. And like they're an hour each, so like yeah, but the whole time I was like, was that long? What happened?
I can see I've done that with yeah. I would say probably the biggest one is alcohol. Like when I drink, god dang.
Not me, everything goes slow.
It's like 16 hours could pass. And I'd be like, man, it's 30 minutes.
Like every time we're at a party or something and people are drinking, I can look at the clock. 30 minutes later, I look back at the clock. It's like a minute later.
That's because you just sit there annoyed. It's like when you're not having fun, of course, it's like, you're like, everything's annoying, so you probably keep looking at the clock. But yeah, probably drinking. Like when I get drunk, man, certain substances have certain effects on people, and my particular substance that affects me very well.
A random picture of food right there.
It's called advertisements. Alcohol is my thing, bro. Like it gives me, it's seriously, alcohol is a drug, but it's like my body's drug of choice. Like when I drink alcohol, I feel amazing. Like some people, they get tired or they feel sick. No. When I drink alcohol, first off, El Mero Mero comes out.
Yes. Every time he drinks, he starts speaking Spanish.
If you don't know who El Mero Mero is, you shall meet him one day.
Like
randomly. He is so smooth. He's so suave.
He will not speak Spanish for like a week. You give him alcohol, he'll be fluent. Like
literally, like I don't know how, but it unlocks a certain area of my brain. Y El Mero Mero, El Yo Se Peli pops out, and oh shit, you better watch it.
Whenever we got you from the cops, you were speaking Spanish and acting like a cholo. You're like, hey man, come get me.
Yeah, they were all telling me like, well, yeah, that was a hell of a night. We'll tell that story one day. But yeah, I didn't even remember that. Like I like seriously for my memories, like I remember certain things. Like I remember seeing them there to get me from the cops, but I don't remember nothing being in Spanish. I remember talking, and I remember even like the cops were like, "Yeah, here's your court date," and I was like, "I gotta go to court." Like I thought I said it in my normal voice, but apparently I was talking like a cholo. But anyways, Metal Comes out, and I am a free butterfly. Like it's amazing. Like people gravitate toward me. I have a blast. We can literally be watching grass grow, and it would be the most amazing grass growing experience ever. And then I'm very affectionate.
Yes, he'll just like, he's drunk, he's like, Joshua, do you know I love you? No, but like really though, do you know I love you? Like,
if I love you and you're around me when I drink, like I don't get violent. I don't really get
besides that one time you drank that bottle of whatever stuff that was and you laid on top of me.
Satan juice. Oh my gosh, bro, you gotta tell stories properly.
Okay, so
it was Seagram 7. My first time ever drinking Seagram 7, and we had 2 bottles of it, and that shit is Satan's juice. I would never touch it again unless I'm drunk, because when I'm drunk I drink everything. But
and when he went to sleep, he flopped on me. Like, no lie.
So dramatic.
I almost died.
So we were in a hotel room. Okay, I was at a work conference, mind you, and
Work conference,
I brought Jeshua down, and I have family in the city that we were in. So family came over. We partied in the pool, drank and stuff. Family members went home. I had a brother that decided to stay. Jonathan, big ups. He stayed, so he had his own bed, and me and Jeshua shared a bed. So like, I was a tyrant that whole night. Like, I called people up, cussing them out and all kind of shit. But not like, well, I called one person up, cussed her out. Sorry. You know who you are.
They ain't watching this.
Blasting music and just I was just doing the most on that Seagram 7. And then, so my brother was like kind of watching me, keeping an eye on me. Jeshua was asleep-ish in the bed. I guess I was making so much noise. So my brother explained exactly what really happened. Jeshua was on one side of the bed. My big ass decides I'm just going to go to sleep. But, like, I plop in the bed. Like, it wasn't gentle. I was drunk. I was like, I'm done. And part of my shoulder happened to land on Joshua. And he's like, you laid on me.
It was like half of him. My ribs were collapsing on my lungs.
No, because I do remember that portion.
I felt the pressure.
I just remember, like, going to lay down, and then I remember feeling like
pushing him off of me. Like,
whatever.
Dying,
I remember
grasping for air, reaching as the life is slipping away.
Slowly slipping out of his little body.
My life flashed before my eyes as I clawed him, trying to get him off of me. The life was slipping. I
was like this. I went on him like that.
More like,
no.
Hold on.
Bro.
It was like this.
It did not extend past that nipple there. Because I remember, like, I laid down. I was like, this isn't right. I'm on my child. And then I was like, it was super hard to move because it was like 4, probably like 3:30 in the morning, and I had to be up at 6 to go to the conference. It's a hell of a conference. I went there drunk. It was such a short time, and I was so drunk, like short time in between me sleeping and waking up. I literally woke up and was like, fuck, I'm still drunk. And then I remember I was there. I was at the conference, and they were like, had a speaker up there, and I was there, and I was at the table with my boss and the other 2 coworkers that I was there with, and I leaned to one coworker and I said, I'm drunk. That's what I thought I did in my head, but really I was like, I'm drunk. And then it got quiet, and people at the table turned around and looked at me, and I was like, oh shit, I fucked up. But yeah, that was
we had many times where we were like borderline in trouble at that place. And remember at the conference, and we were just dying of laughter because somebody. Oh no,
that wasn't a conference. That was a board meeting. It was a governing board meeting, and if you know me, my son comes to work with me because I want him to see about life, and I want him. Be next to me, be with me. It's my son.
I just want to clarify something. This person that we are talking about has no taste buds. Actually, I think they have heightened taste buds to where salt is spicy to them, and regular buffalo hot sauce.
Oh my gosh, just get on with the story.
Can burn their
just get on with the
sensitive
story.
Tongue. So we were at the board meeting. And
I was working, mind you.
They're like, they text him like, "Hey, I'm making chicken. Just by the way, so you guys don't get anything, just come home and we'll have the chicken." So then I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be horrible. So we just start busting out laughing. Because, one, they don't know how to cook that well. And second of all, their taste buds are as flat as this thing. So, we were dying of laughter like, this chicken.
Now, mind you.
It's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. It's going to have salt. Oh, it's too spicy. It's too much.
And that was a running joke. Like, we're like, oh, if you want to put spice, put some salt on it. So, like, he and I, when we'll say a joke, and we'll still be saying like versions of that joke 10 minutes later. Like we add and add and add. So with that being said, we were at a board meeting, and we were what, the second row, first row?
First row.
Because I was sent to the board meeting to record because it was at a different location than it normally was. So this is like, a big thing. And with his little snicker, I start laughing. Then he starts laughing. Then I start laughing. And we just kept going and kept going. Like
everybody was looking at us.
I was truly trying to be professional at that moment because I'm like, this is a big deal. And
I think it was like a rape case or something like that.
That was one of the things that was coming up.
And we're just
And man, I truly, like, if I ever tried a thing in my life, I truly tried to hold the face. And it was like, I could care less. But the thing is, there's a guy, his name is Chad Guest, and he's a superintendent for Phoenix Union. And technically, he's my boss, but like my other boss is there. That's above, well, the superintendent's above my normal everyday boss. But so the superintendent's there. Like, he's super cool. He's my friend. But the fact that like he was there and anything I do would like, it brings this, discredit to him. And he sat there because he was on the board and he just looks at us and I'm dying, staring him in his eyes, still laughing. And he's just kind of like, okay, like it's cute, okay, now it's but we just kept laughing and laughing. Then the board clerk, she's looking at us laughing. It got so bad, like Jeshua even knew how like bad it was. He got him, he's like, I'm going to the bathroom.
I go to the bathroom.
And instead of my dumbass not looking at him as he goes to the bathroom, we look at each other like eyes, and then we start dying again. I'm like, no, I'm fired. I'm done.
And then
I resign.
Now I get some water. I cool down. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I walk in there. As soon as I take a step into that room, we lock eyes. Die. I walk back.
It was
Everybody's
horrible.
staring at us, and then I walk around back, and we're just like.
And the bad thing is, okay, here's the front. That's where the board is. This is the audience. I was sitting here. So to go to the bathroom, he had to walk all the way around all of the audience, around the back, around the side, and go up past where the board was because the door is right here. That's what really made it bad.
That was like the longest walk because I kept going back trying to like go down, get water.
If it was a straight shot to the back, we would have been straight. But the fact that he had to go around and at some point pass me again and
lock eyes.
And
as soon as I took a step out and we locked eyes, we both instantly started dying.
And it's not like
it was
and it was like legit, like it was a laughter that I couldn't control. It was just so funny at the moment. Yeah, so I was like, man, I'm just going to take my badge off now and just slide that across there. But hey, nothing was ever spoken of it. Nobody ever said anything, and we lived to tell the story. So yeah.
Okay, so we're ending this video here.
This podcast.
2 hours of my time. 2 hours and 1 minute.
I'm gonna edit this down because man, there's some for the sake and I forgot how it goes, but anyways, I'm gonna do some edit. I try not to edit these podcasts, but yeah, I'm gonna cut. There's probably some things I'm gonna have to cut out, and definitely I'm gonna have to edit some because the fucking camera decided it wanted to die out for a little bit. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is technically our second podcast. Technically not our second podcast. Make sure you guys check out We Came in Last. You guys can follow them on Instagram. Make sure you guys also check out Snood City Neon. And if you are around the valley, every first Friday they put stuff together. Like today's first Friday. And I'm going to be down there. They're having a shuffling contest. Like it's an art. They have art and everything. It's a collection of artists, but they're also having a DJ with music and a shuffle. Somebody's putting together a shuffling contest. I think that'd be interesting. I've never seen that. So anyways, check them out. Check out We Came in Last, and also go to birdandbuddhaclothing.com, buy a t-shirt. Peace.